Hi, I'm Jim Hayes. We've made this film to show you about our home building company in Santa Fe, New Mexico. My wife Laura and I came here in 1973, and since then we've built over 150 homes and developed about 50 home sites. Our forte is design and construction of Adobe homes and landscapes, and also land restoration. If you'll stay with us for a few minutes, I'd like to show you some of our work here in Santa Fe. The music you will hear is composed and performed by our son Gabriel. The homes you see here are built of authentic Adobe mud bricks and exhibit many fine details realized by the great craftsmen of Santa Fe. I was drawn to Adobe construction early in my career because of its sculptural and aesthetic qualities. In the mid-1970s, with quadrupling oil prices, the opportunity to use this ancient and timeless material with solar greenhouses and other techniques of passive solar construction made a lot of sense. Adobe homes have a natural beauty and harmony with the surrounding landscape of New Mexico. They also possess many practical qualities. Massive Adobe walls are cool in the summer and warm in the winter. The same thick walls also make the inside of an Adobe home quiet, as they absorb sounds from both inside and outside of the home. The combination of Adobe with natural plasters, native woods, and other Santa Fe touches results in a rich blend of tradition, comfort, and elegance. Most of these homes are Adobe in the traditional Pueblo style, but we've also explored arts and crafts elements, and have even built arts and crafts style in Adobe. Our buildings have wonderful qualities of light. The sunlight at different times of the day and in different seasons can make the plaster finishes glow. We are very aware of the different aspects of natural light. Skylights provide natural lighting so that it is not usually necessary to have electric lights in the daytime. Adobe bricks, which each weigh about 35 pounds, are made of mud and straw and dried in the sun. Most of the bricks are placed whole, but as you can see, they can be readily shaped with a small hatchet. We also carve nichos and refine padrecito walls in the same way. We usually place the bricks with mud, but sometimes use a masonry cement mortar when the weather is cooler to gain a quicker set before water in the mix might freeze. Our crews are often extended families of workers bound by their blood relations and work ethic. In most cases, we have worked together for many years. Now I would like to introduce you to Kachina Hills, which we developed in the mid-90s just off of the old east side above downtown Santa Fe. We have built most of the homes on the 25 lots and restored a healthy ecology to severely eroded terrain. Some of my clients have graciously invited us into their homes.
Hi, I'm Barbara Johnstone, and I'd like to welcome you to our home. We've been here about a year, and we found this house when it was about 2 months from completion, and we fell in love with a lot of things about the house. We loved the walls. It made a wonderful place for my paintings. And this house is shaped like a banana, my youngest son says, from the living area back to the bedrooms and to the study.
Hello.
This is my husband, James.
Hello.
Here.
Since I've retired, I'm spending more time in here. It's very cozy, especially in the wintertime with the fireplace, and it's just a great place to get things done. I really enjoy it, and I figured I'd spend more time here than in the rest of the house.
And into this room is one of the guest rooms. We have two. This one our grandchildren use. And then our other guest room. On into the master bedroom area and closet. Take a look at this. This is just great. We call it a real closet. And then into the master bedroom. And on into the master bath. That really just has everything here.
Now I would like to introduce you to my good friend, Dr. Eric Platts. This is the second home I've built for Eric and Barbara. Like many of my clients, we became friends working together on their home.
One of the prominent features of this home is that we have quite a lot of curved surfaces here. And it was a very interesting design process to work with Jim to develop this entryway into the home and to have it lead forward into the main living area in a welcoming fashion. I found that working with Jim was a wonderful experience in regards to the fact that he's very flexible, and we wanted a lot of curvature in this home, which is not something that everyone wants. By using Adobe, which is a very flexible building surface, we were able to put together quite a lot of curvature in this home in a very satisfying way. This space is the greenhouse that Jim helped us to design and build. And Barbara and I were involved quite a bit in the design of the house itself as well as the greenhouse. We wanted a space where we could have a mix of ornamental plants and grow a vegetable garden. And in particular, we wanted to have some tomatoes and have tomatoes at Christmas time. I think so far we're doing pretty well in that regard. This tomato plant, which is all one plant, is still making blossoms and still making very nice cherry tomatoes. This structure was added on to the original house in such a way that when we did the original house, we put ducts in that would allow us to harvest the heat from our greenhouse. New Mexico has an enormous solar potential, and here in Santa Fe, we see over 300 days of sunshine a year. Right now, it's almost 80 degrees. Well, it is 80 degrees in here right now. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and it snowed last night. It's November 18th. The temperature outside right now is 35 degrees.
Marianne Lewis and Alan Yeager asked me to build a home for them in Kachina Hills. Marianne is an accomplished artist. Their home includes a studio and a gallery for her work.
Let me explain a little bit about the house. It's built on this ridge with beautiful arroyo on both sides. We're only 15 minutes from the plaza by walking. It's an ideal location for us.
We built the house 8 months ago and have been working on the landscaping. We planted 28 trees. This is what I call a gallery. It was designed with the artwork that I had in mind. This is a piece of mine. It's a weaving. And this is my workspace. I spend a lot of time in this room. And here we have Alan's den.
Hi, come on in. Let me share with you some of the research we did before choosing an Adobe for our house. Mud is one of the oldest building materials used by man. Some of the earliest remains of adobe structures are those discovered in the ruins of Neolithic farming villages in Mesopotamia, dating as far back as 7000 BC.
And this is the master bedroom. I just love the light in here. And I love the angles of the walls. No two walls are the same. And I love the thickness of the walls. It's warm in this winter and cool in the summer. And this window I love because it frames. It's sort of like a picture, a moving picture. And this is the master bath. All of the tile is from Italy. And the curtains are from Italy also, handmade in Venice. And I like the light coming through the lace. And this is the dining room. This pass-through was designed to fit this carved teak screen from Bali. And I was really happy that the dining room table and candelabra would fit in this room. And this is the kitchen. It really works. It is not too big. You can easily go from place to place without too many steps. Here, Alan, have some cheese.
Okay.
We're so lucky to have a view like this. Here we are in the center of the city, and we have the arroyo and incredible sunsets.
Albert and Elizabeth Kidd contacted me about building a home on a lot they owned in Las Campanas. Here we are looking at the site and talking about how to take advantage of its particular qualities, including views to the mountains and the Jack Nicklaus signature golf course.
This was just looking at the basic issues, talking about Elizabeth's view.
We worked with Christopher Purvis on this project. Chris is an accomplished local architect. He also designed the Johnstones' home and the second phase of the Platts' home, which we toured earlier.
Guest rooms and ultimately Albert's office.
We also prepared detailed drawings and studies in our own office. We specialize in custom design and construction to suit the goals of our clients and to maximize the advantages of each home site. In planning a home, it is important to fully understand views, access, terrain issues, and our clients' needs, including the budget, in preparing concept studies. Most of our sites require custom design to fully realize the potential of the setting. Every project begins with a good design. The next step is to implement it with our staff and workers. Here are some scenes from building the kids' home. We like to transplant the piñón trees before starting construction and have successfully moved many trees, including some pretty large ones. There is a lot of work below grade before we can start walls, including footings, stem walls, plumbing and heating rough-in, and finally the concrete slab. The main walls of the home are built with adobe bricks. On top of the adobes, a concrete bond beam ties the building together just below the bearing height of the roof structure. There is a lot of wood that goes into the roofs and portal framing. The interface of the wood framing and adobe requires a mix of skills not normally woven together in modern construction. Our fireplaces are built on site, and the radiant quality of the masonry gives a heat and warmth to the entire room. I really enjoy the buildings visually when the basic construction in Adobe and wood is complete, before we start adding the modern elements like electricity, plumbing, and insulation. Once everything for our electrical and plumbing systems is in the walls, we plaster 3 coats inside and out. In addition to the physical effort to mix and move all of the material, a high level of skill is required to achieve the fine hand-troweled plastered walls. At this stage of the building, a lot of activities are happening all at once. On a given day, there might be electricians, plumbers, carpenters, lathers, and painters working on a larger home. The kids' home was technically challenging to achieve the arts and crafts detailing with Adobe Construction. Anticipating the finish work required constant attention, and we were always glad to have our architect's input. An inch, like a half inch each side, so that's why it's got the trim drop down. Sometimes we change our minds. While we draw and visualize before actually building, we just see it better once it is really there. Well, Chris, I don't mind the slanted line, but I'd be willing to knock it out because, we're wanting to do a banco in here, and it turns out there's just a little view corridor from the living room to the golf course right through there that we weren't watching on the plans when we were designing for the big views to the haymeadows.
Tasha, this breakfast room is one of my favorite rooms because of the built-in banco and the mullion windows to the east.
On this side of the room, Laura, there's a built-in bookshelf right here, an entertainment center to the right, and the fireplace in the center is surrounded by handmade tiles. Although this room is Adobe, we did choose to frame the interior because of the trim work involved. So all the doors and windows are cased in clear vertical grain fir, and there's trim running all the way around the entire room. So that idea in here, Laura, is that there'd be a long antique desk that fills most of this wall. And to make it a good working area, we've got recessed lights behind the beam that are hidden, but would give a lot of light from the desktop here.
This is the first time we've all been in the home together since Albert and Elizabeth moved in.
You started the novel yet?
Not yet. Not
You're ready
yet.
now.
I'm ready. I've got all, I have my space.
These summer
Lord.
teams are amazing. The amount of light they bring in. I mean, everybody assumes
I
that's
got
how they
sunglasses.
have the
But
light
there's a
turned
lot
on.
on.
But,
Isn't that amazing?
That's even more than I
Yeah.
thought there would be.
Yeah.
Those things are great.
Well, you know, for a good part of the house, with all the skylights, we never turn the lights on, which is really neat.
That's the way it should be.
Oh, this stairwell is just absolutely wonderful. I mean, what you design is just beautiful, but it's also the case that what you designed was a bear to build too.
Yes,
But-
we spent a lot of time
But
talking.
Ed and Rod spent a tremendous amount of time trying to get this exactly right, and they did. But this room really turned out well too, I think, in terms of the colors and decoration. And you know, you really see the wood trim all the way around that, of course, key feature that you designed in, but it's nice to, you really see it cleanly here.
It's done.
It's done, yeah.